Welcome back here, 2013 PSP World Cup. I'm Matty Marshall. We're lucky enough to have Tony Perez here, South American paintball legend Tony Perez, and also Chris Lasoya. Man, what an amazing event here. Taking a look at the vendor village. So many big name paintball companies here, and just not only the big name paintball companies, a big shout out to Empire, Dye, GI Sports, Planet Eclipse, DLX, and the HK Army. Let's get right in here into this D2 final between Hustle and DC Devastation. Devastation gonna be on the left-hand side of your screen, and here comes number 3 for DC Devastation, Brandon Rabikoff, and Hustle losing 2 players off the break, only 3 players left alive for them. They're stuck in that center, and it looks like Brandon Rabikoff is gonna have the snake to himself over here.
Yeah, you know what, Brandon Rabikoff, son of Steve Rabikoff and brother of Justin Rabikoff. You know, I don't know, Steve along the way lost some, I mean, these kids are way better than that guy ever was. You know, but I mean, hey, Brandon Rabikoff now, just to date ourselves, Matty, is 21.
Why you gotta throw me under the bus, man?
Because I am the bus driver. All right.
So, yeah, nice job by, Steve raised some great kids. It looks like Rabikoff actually got shot. Doesn't matter, though, as DC Devastation with Leland Walker, Luigi, Piranglini, Philip Swanson, and Sam Haynes getting it done out there for DC Dev. 14:05 to go here. Hustle's gonna have to pick it up a little bit.
And you know, with that said, these two teams met actually. I can't remember the tournament was, but they came down.
Chicago. It came down to that one-on-ones. Yeah, so we just saw some shootouts earlier on. But hey, we're in the booth right now with Tony Perez. Tony, how you doing?
Great, guys. Thank you so much for having me up here.
Of course. Now, hey, man, you guys had an awesome thing going on with the Dream Team, and I haven't heard anything about what happened with them yet. Obviously, you guys aren't, I don't think you didn't make it into the D1 final, but please enlighten us. Such an amazing, so basically, let me just paint the picture for you real quick. Tony and a bunch of the guys that are behind paintball in South America and Latin America, they set up this amazing concept. They took 50 players. First of all, how many submissions did you have?
We have 218.
218 submissions. Yeah. And all these guys had to meet certain requirements. They put in these online applications. They picked 50 of the best, all the ones that qualified, and they brought them out here to Florida. And there was so many good stories around that. Yeah. It was just amazing. So just give us a little bit of update on what's going on with them.
Yeah, it was great. It was a concept that we needed to try to continue to get paintball to grow in Latin America and other parts of the world. And it was really, really important that we had something that got everybody into the mode of, hey, let's get behind something, you know? They're all watching PB Access, but it's really different when they see the kid on PB Access.
Yeah,
that they know the hometown hero from Santiago, Chile, the guy from, Quito, Ecuador, wherever it may be.
And people don't understand there is a lot of paintball going on in
Latin
America.
It's great. It's grown. It's grown exponentially year after year after year. I mean, my company, Penalties Sports International, has done really, really well in making sure that we got the distribution channels set up across all the major brands here in the United States. So it's growing. We got to support these guys, get them up there. And the idea of a dream team was just we needed to give these guys some more hope. You know, you and I, all of us had that shot early. We were able to find local talent, good teams and stuff like that. So it was easy to get picked up on a full ride.
Well, in Southern California, where we were from, man, we had a lot of opportunities. We'll get back to that in a second. Let's head back here on the field. Check it out, the split screen breakout. Hustle on your left, Devastation up 1 on your right.
Little note right now, Hustle starting with 3 players, Matty. For some reason, I'm not sure why.
What?
And I guarantee you DC Devastation is just going to take full advantage of that right now.
Chris, down already 1 point. The last thing that you want to happen is to come out undermanned. And so Hustle, something happening out there. Not exactly sure what happened, but DC Devastation making quick work of them, and they are going to go up another point here. So 13,
unbelievable.
That was quick.
13:41 to go, so a lot of time left. Hustle has the chance to get back in it. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here. We're down on the field with 13:41 to go. DC Devastation up 2 points to 0 against Hustle. Hustle's going to need to get something going on here. And about 30 seconds to go before the start of the point. So Tony, so you got the Dream Team concept, and then how did it play out once you guys got to Florida?
Yeah, once we got these everybody selected, and it was individually country by country, and it was by vote, so it was completely unbiased. It was the best players from every country got selected for this 50. So it was actually an honor to be one of the selected 7.
That's amazing.
The selected 6. It was just amazing.
I talked to one of the guys. I can't remember his name, but he was from Venezuela, and man, he was just so happy about the whole thing. He didn't make it, but he's still such a smile about it, and just the whole experience was amazing for him.
Oh yeah.
So here we go on the breakout. DC Devastation on your right, Hustle on your left. And DC Devastation, they are in the driver's seat right now. Nobody in the snake for either team. Pretty good field position for both teams. However, Hustle doubling up that stand-up can. You can see there on the left-hand side of your screen. And that spot's going to get real small for them, as we've seen all tournament long.
You know, and right now, DC Devastation losing Alexander Rudolph, who's Kevin Callie Rudolph's brother.
Look at the legacies going on here.
I'm telling you, man.
It's cool how, Tony, you've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of brother combos, a lot of father-son combos. It's cool. San Jose Royalty actually has 3 brothers that play on the same team together.
Wow.
My son plays. Rich Telford. Rich Telford's my son. I'd claim him. Anyway, but no, Tony Perez, you've been a pioneer of the sport and a great ambassador across the world. And my hat's off to you and everything you've done for the sport, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
And look at the moves right now by Hustle. Hustling down the field.
Well, they need it right now, making moves in the center as they get all the way up there trying to shut down that Dorito side of the field. It's Tim Jenkins up in the center for Hustle. They're also in the snake, and they take the 50-yard line. So now, playing on their heels, DC Devastation.
And Stephen Bright taking the walk. That's number 1, Patrick Arnold on your screen in the snake for Hustle, shooting across the field. And 2 more players go down. Only Gino Benedicto.
Hustle starting to make a game of this. Number 1, Patrick Arnold, putting it on, the last player for DC Dev. And 4 players left alive for Hustle as they are about to hang that flag up. Now we got ourselves a 1-point match here. Wow, we'll be right back after this. We got ourselves a game. Beautiful day here. It is humid, but hey, we're in Florida. But man, we've been blessed with some awesome weather. And over the years, we've seen some hot World Cups, some rainy World Cups. But man, it's been a beautiful weekend so far. And we are down here on the field about to see this next point between Hustle and DC Devastation in this Race to 5 D2 final. This game brought to you by CC Paintball. If you're in the Southern California area, get to their stores out in Corona and Norco. Got a great staff, knowledgeable service, and great deals on a bunch of different products. All the major manufacturers represented. There's DC Devastation. With let's check in with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines. We'll get down to Lauren here in a second, but yeah. So Tony, what do you think about this field layout, man?
Yeah, it was challenging. Probably one of the most challenging ones I've seen this whole year. See how this guy's break
it's been crazy. You could play fast on it, you could play slow on it. It really depended on the team's, their mentality and what they decided they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So here we go, 11 minutes and 41 seconds in this matchup. DC Devastation running all the way up to the center, 50 off the break, but losing player number 17, Robert Bowen, coming off early for DC Devastation.
And on the screen right now, that's number 1, Patrick Arnold for Hustle. getting into Snake on the break, Maddie, but also losing Josh Markland on the far side of the field as well. Both teams sitting at 4 apiece now. Come on, Tony. Oh, look at the move to the center. Oh.
And he didn't get him.
No, I don't.
Wait a minute.
I don't
He didn't
know.
get him.
I thought I saw a spray come off, but that could have been off the bunker. He's tucked in there about as big as you. And you know what? Hey, he didn't flinch. So I don't think he got hit. If he had got hit, we would have seen a flinch a little bit. Yeah, but that's a little bit different. You don't have any nerve endings left in your skin. Big difference.
I can remember. I never flinched.
Oh, major penalty right
no.
now is on DC Devastation. So the door is now open for Hustle.
Whoa.
And here comes the
He's
hammer
not-
about to drop. This guy's not going to miss.
Finally.
Oh! Goes head hunting up the center.
Lasoya style in the Unbelievable. Leland Walker getting up in the middle of the field, left all alone, because when you get a major penalty in the divisionals, it's a 2-for-1, correct, Maddie?
Yes, a major penalty. There's no actual, the box, penalty box, which we've seen all weekend in the Champs and Challengers division, that doesn't exist in the divisional side of things. It's just 1-for-1s and 2-for-1s. You get a major penalty, it's a 2-for-1, which pretty much decimates your team that point. That's exactly what we saw. 2-2 is the score. We'll be right back after this.
Okay.
Welcome back here. 10 minutes, 23 seconds to go. So Tony, talk to us a little bit more about the Dream Team. Such an amazing concept. How did it start? How did it start playing out?
Yeah, we've seen so much talent going out through the years, and the years starting to come up, and everybody who's actually been in it 10, 12, 13 years, and these new guys are coming in, it's amazing, but they just don't have that opportunity to come out here and get seen. So the whole idea behind the Dream Team was to put them together, find the best that we can find, myself, Thomas Taylor, Oliver Lang, and Mike Paxton, train these guys, find the 10 best, and see if we can make them gel out here.
All right. So real quick, though,
Sure.
we got to check in with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines, and we'll get back to the Dream Team concept in just a second.
Let's do it.
Oh, actually, we still have, we got Lauren waiting over there for interview. We got about 5 seconds to go for the game before the start of this next point. Let's jump back into the action. Definitely want to hear, though. I want to hear who did well in the Dream Team concept, you know? And so here we go, back on the field. Hustle taking on DC Devastation. 2-2 is the score. 5 players alive for both teams here in better field position in the Snake right now. You see Brandon Rabikoff making his way to Snake 2. And he's going to try to get a shot on that stand-up in the center, duck back down. He gets one of his buddies right behind him. That's number 20, Gino Benedicto.
And this grudge match right here, number 29 that's Jerry Williams for Hustle, getting in the Snake. He has the ball right now. I mean, these guys it's 2-2. This is a total grudge match from Chicago. And also taking the walk, that's number 1, Sam Haynes for DC Devastation, taking the walk. So up one body right now is Hustle.
Yeah, Hustle all of a sudden looked like DC Devastation. Well, it didn't look like it. They did take the momentum early on in this match, but then Hustle fighting, scrapping back, and they are able to tie it up, and now they shoot Sam Haynes. So Hustle has the advantage, 5 bodies on 4 with 9 minutes and 18 seconds to go. So as things kind of settle into this point, so Tony, who were the guys that were doing work for you guys on the Dream Team, man? Who stepped up out of all those 50 guys? Who are our future stars?
You know what? It's amazing because it was 1 or 2 typically from about 5 different countries that made the final cut, and they were just amazing. They definitely set themselves apart, and we kind of saw it about maybe the first day and a half that these guys were there. They were right there. You know, you always have the challenge of putting a team together. We've all noticed it, that when you put them together, they got to gel. They have to have time, and they just need seat time on this field. Outside of this having be one of the most challenging fields we've had all year, you know, Latin Americans typically are very, very aggressive.
Yes,
and
they are.
Getting them to slow down is our tough part, and it was one of the challenges we faced. They were able to pull it through, but it on a field like this is you definitely have to take it time. attack as a team.
We've seen it's been a challenging layout, but it's also been a layout where, you know, the teams that have the chameleon-like ability to play aggressive and then pull it back at a split-second notice, those are the teams like X Factor and Impact that we're seeing in the final right now, later on this afternoon, after the D1 final and the Challengers Division final. Those are coming at you next. Help us share Paintball across the world. Share all this across your social networks and let people know that the D1 Challengers and Champions final, those are all going down here live this afternoon, brought to you by PaintballAccess.com. And look at this, bodies starting to drop for DC Dev and for Hustle, though. Hustle has two players walking off here. And it looks like Gino Benedicto and Robert Bowen are the last two players left alive for DC Devastation. Tied up still at 2 apiece, 7 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Better field position for Hustle, and it looks like DC Devastation is gonna concede that point. And Hustle gonna take one, man. Wow, Hustle coming back here. Ooh. Chris, this is crazy right here. We've seen some comebacks today.
Man, you know what? And that just goes to show you the level of competition in these divisional rankings. I mean, you say Division 3, Division 4, whatever, but at the same time, it's not divisional. It's just a level of professionalism. These teams are way better than they used to be, because when we were pros, we used to whoop these kids.
Well, the thing though, it's true though, but the thing is it's amazing. And you know, I played the CPS event, awesome tournament series, was in Milan, Italy, like 3-4 weekends ago, and it's just in going over to Europe and seeing the level of the divisional ranks over there increasing and how aggressive everyone is just naturally in Europe is amazing. That was really cool to see. Kind of like same with South America, just they have this, it's like, oh, paintball, we just got to push forward, push forward, push forward. But it's really cool to see these divisional guys just get so much better at the game. The skill level has skyrocketed. Let's check with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm here in Hustle's pit with Corey Skinner. Corey, you guys are up 1.32. You were down 2 points at the beginning though, so DC Dev can come back and tie it up. How are you feeling right now? Are you a little nervous?
A little bit nervous. We played them before and they beat us last time we played them, so.
All right, since you've played them before, what do you think you need to do to make sure you bring home a win right now?
We just got to play smart, stay alive, don't do anything stupid.
All right, well, we got 30 seconds until we see if they can take home the win.
Wow, that guy wins the award for best facial hair so far that we've seen on the webcast. Definitely. Absolutely. Except for maybe Cora Bornstein's beard.
Dude,
Corey Bornstein's beard looked like the beard alone would whoop you. You know, like the beard would come and just punch you in the face. The man points that Corey gets for his beard is, and he's been growing it for a while now, but it's just, it's unbelievable how awesome his beard is. And we're going to see Corey Bornstein and the rest of the crew from Edmonton Impact. What a great pickup for Edmonton Impact. He actually got the start in that semifinal matchup. Here we go. DC Dev now losing to Hustle. So they are going to have to pick it up here, and it looks like Hustle losing a body. No, DC Devastation losing a body. Both teams actually losing a body. Brandon Rabakov, he comes off early.
Mark Yarko. But in the snake, look at the move right there by DC Devastation, getting in the snake. Tony, how detrimental is that snake? Number 1 right there, getting in the snake. Patrick Arnold mirroring up DC's Devastation. I mean, that snake is like detrimental to winning this game.
And you see these guys, they get into a good spot. If it's on a whole field anyway, they're holding even that much longer. I mean, you can really, even in some of our games, we put a guy in there, even if he wasn't going to go do anything, he just got in there just to get the field to stop it from moving.
Right.
You get some of these lanes up there, and you let him in, I'm sorry to say, but the guy that can't fire.
Yeah, well, one thing we've seen is some 3 and 4 packs coming out of the snake side of the field. You don't see that a lot from the other side of the field, but people getting the snake, they're getting 2, 3 Gs.
A high risk, high reward. You kind of want the snake to be like that. If you get in there and you play well, you can shoot everybody, but you can't just, well, sometimes we'll have layouts where it's really easy to get in the snake, but that's paintball. Yeah. You know, the fields change up for a reason. And now another body dropping for Hustle. 4 on 5. Actually, it's actually 4 on 2 right now. Hustle dropping yet another one. So Patrick Arnold and Jerry Williams left alive. And DC Devastation with 4 bodies. They're trying to tie this up here at 3. We've seen Hustle and DC Devastation play before and play one-on-ones. So maybe we'll get graced by the paintball gods and see some more one-on-ones again. Ooh. I don't know. But DC Devastation running to their death.
Wow.
Great job on that protection there.
That was 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them went down from that.
Gino Benedicto from DC Dev.
Puts him in the back Dorito, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so Chino runs to his death, but Hustle losing a body still with the advantage. Stephen Bright and Sam Haynes from DC Devastation. It's 2-on-1 right now. Patrick Arnold, last player left alive. Can DC Devastation take him out and tie this up? We will see in a second here.
It's going to happen. Here comes Steven. Steven Bright's going to come over and just put it on him.
This is one of those tough times when you are in the snake because you have everybody screaming at you, do this, do that. You know, at this point, you almost have to just shut everybody out and go play by instinct. You know, pick one person to battle it out with and see if you can dominate him and then turn it to a one-on-one.
Here comes the... I kind of wanted to see some pain there, but it's all right. Number 1, Sam Haynes.
See, sometimes, Chris, you're like, I want to see some pain, and sometimes you're like, I just love the sportsmanship these guys are showing out there. Such an amazing job. You only shot him once in the pack.
Yeah, but...
You're like schizophrenic up here. I love it, though.
Try practicing with him.
I took most of my Adderall on Saturday.
All right, so we will be right back after this commercial break. Do not go anywhere. And it looks like it's 3-3 tied up.
A&S Gear is having their World Cup Super Sale. We've got A&S pods for half off. A&S gas tanks starting as low as $99.95. We've got swabs so cheap that you can throw them away. You can get Nelson paint arriving at your door, $31.95. Jerseys, we've got them starting at $4.95. And pants, starting at $29.95. Shop now at ansgear.com and don't miss out on the biggest paintball sale ever.
Welcome back here, Fantasy of Flight in Polk City, Florida, a little outside of Orlando. Manny Marshall with Tony Perez and Chris Lasoya. So, Tony, who made all this happen? You know, how did you put together this awesome idea?
One of the neatest things is all the manufacturers to see the growth and see where it's going. And, you know, this is truly a dream, and it's a dream I've had for a very long time, is try to get that talent back up here in the United States so some of the pro teams can actually see them. And the only way to do that, to get them showcased, is they're not going to look at Division 2, Division 3.
Yeah,
they got to be at the
you're
closest level to Challengers League and Pro League.
Yeah.
So Division 1, everybody says you jumped high. No, you got to go high. You aim high or you don't aim at all. You know,
I agree with you, because if you're going to do this awesome tryout and pick these awesome, talented players, give them a test.
Yeah.
You know, might as well give them a test, and that way, if whether succeed or fail, it's still such an amazing story, and obviously you're going to cultivate this awesome talent, regardless of whether or not they do, you know, get out here on the webcast field or not. It's still going to be a great lesson for them. So moving forward, that would be way more beneficial to everything long term than if you guys had sandbagged and tried to come play D4 or something ridiculous.
I mean, it was kind of neat on these fields. You see these guys, and yes, it's D1, but you see the challenge. We didn't get walked over. It was a tough challenge. It was a tough field, and we worked out really, really well. I mean, you got these sponsors. You got HK Army, Lux, Titman, Gorilla Air, Primelink, Key Action Sports, Gen X. These guys all said yes to the idea. Didn't even ask me how much they needed to help to support this thing. I'm like, amazing. We're going forward 100%. And that's the kind of support that I'm glad the manufacturers in the industry see that. This has got to continue to grow. We have to farm the talent and bring that talent from these other continents up.
Yeah, you got to give people a dream, hence the dream team. So let's check in with Lauren on the sidelines.
I am down in DC Devastation's pit with Leland Walker. Leland, this is such a close match right now. It's tied 3-3 with 5 minutes on the board. How are you guys feeling in the pit? What are you talking about? What's the energy like?
We're pretty hyped up. We played these guys in MAO finals, so we owe them another victory. So right now we're just trying to get some bodies off the break and take this win away. We already got the series. We just want to win Cup now.
All right, and it did go your way at MAO, so what are you expecting from them that you're going to counteract against?
Well, these guys like to dig in. It seems like we run into their guns, so hopefully we're just trying to, shoot them out of their bunkers before they can put a lane on us.
All right, we'll see if they can do that and take the lead. Back to you guys.
All tied up at 3 apiece here. Exactly 5 minutes to go here in this D2 final. So congratulations to DC Devastation taking the series championship. However, hey, ask around. Pretty much any high-level paintball player would rather take a World Cup win than a series championship any day of the year, and that's what they're fighting for right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. The series title is an amazing honor that you earn, but it is so ridiculously hard to win this tournament because. Regardless of what division that you play in, all these teams just come out of the woodwork from all over the world. And because of the sheer number of teams here and all the best, if you consider yourself a good paintball player, you're going to be here at the World Cup.
That's so true. That's so true. And you got, another 4 or 5 months till season starts up again? It's like you have a lot of time to think about what we did wrong.
Exactly. Even if you won the series, if you didn't do well here, you're like, okay, well, we have some work to do in the offseason. Player dropping off early for DC Devastation, and here comes another player coming off for Hustle. So it's all evened up, 4 bodies apiece. Brandon Rabikoff, Stephen Bright, Sam Hayes, and Gino Benedicto alive for DC Devastation. On the flip side, Hustle, Patrick Arnold, Josh Markland, CJ Cantor, and Mark Yarko. These guys are all throwing down right now, trying to win the World Cup for their teams. And better field position on the D side of the field for Hustle. They're making moves over there, and on the Snake side. So DC Devastation not as quick to go in this point. Oh, and they lose Philip Swanson too.
Wow, down to 3 players right now. DC's Devastation against Hustle's 4 in the Snake right now. Patrick Arnold again getting in the Snake, as you see. I'm sorry, that's number 12. That's CJ Cantor getting in the Snake for Hustle. And Brandon Rabikoff trying to make something happen over here for DC Devastation on your screen.
You know they're in a good spots. You look at DC.
Oh, look at this shot across the field, Tony. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's good.
That was across the field. Number 33, Mark Yarko, taking one in the face from Brandon Rabikoff.
Now they're tying it up. Yeah, 3-on-3 on the field right now. But the thing is, they got to start to work together. You get a point like this, it's critical.
Yeah, you're right. No, this is the critical point. It's all tied up. We're in the World Cup final. It couldn't get any more critical than this. That would be actually the defining word for this moment right now, would be critical.
Yeah.
So, oh, and dropping the ball, number 12, CJ Cantor gets shot out of his bunker here in Snake 1 for Hustle. And now DC Devastation with the advantage. They have a player in the Snake, Brandon Rabikoff. He's on the inside, and then you're looking at Hustle on your screen right now. They're trying to do damage control at this point.
You know, right there on your screen, trying to get a shot across the field. Brandon Rabikoff. Oh, Brandon Rabikoff. Looks like he might have taken one. No, he's still alive. But here comes Patrick Arnold. Good move by both players.
Oh, they're going to have to be careful.
Major
I was
penalty.
going to say, that was on, it on. Is
that
it
was
on
on,
Hustle?
that was on Arnold, for sure. Arnold spun. Brandon Rabikoff made a great move.
Wow.
And Arnold spun like a top spun by a piece of string.
Worst thing that could have happened right now for Hustle. You know, but the thing is that here's the thing with the major amount of penalties down in the divisional ranks, is that it's not as disastrous when you keep the whole game in context, because there is no penalty box. So it's not like he has to go spend time in the penalty box.
Right.
What happens is that's an immediate 2-for-1. So not quite as bad overall, but it's immediately, it's basically like tossing a claymore onto that side of the field, completely killing everybody over there, and that's what happened. So
and the worst time to do it.
Yeah,
too.
and
Sorry
exactly.
about that.
And no, you're right. And the worst time to do it. Let's check out this replay real quick here. As we're seeing here on the Snake side, there's Brandon Rabikoff. He initiates the move. Number 3, running him down, and then he tried to put a couple balls on him. I understand what he's trying to do, you know, in these crucial points, but it's that fine line that you ride right there, and that takes out the last player. Let's look at it from the other angle. Here's Rabikoff. He comes in there. Boom, he gets the shot on the side, and yeah, that's about as blatant as a major as you possibly can get. I mean, Brandon shot him a couple times there on the side, and you could see him flinch from the hits. He flinches from the hits and then whips his gun around and tries to get back in there. That's
maybe nobody will see that.
Yeah, nobody saw it. It's under my arm.
He almost pulled a hammy throwing that flag.
Yeah.
The ref did. I was like, geez.
Yeah, so DC Devastation is going to go up 3-4 right now with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go. So, Tony, what's the future for the Dream Team concept?
Well, we had such a popular response. I mean, everybody in Latin America was following this team, this dream, this concept, and their hometown heroes. And we got to keep this going. There's no way this is going to stop here.
Absolutely.
I mean, ideally, we'd like to have this kind of go on the whole season, because these guys need seed time. It's not that they don't have the talent. On a different field, maybe a little bit more aggressive field, as opposed to like a hold and defensive field, it would be a whole different story. And these guys played with heart, and that was what I wanted to show the rest of the world. And they did it themselves. I was in there on the sidelines. I wanted to be out there shooting with them, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was good. We're going to keep this going.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, man. I really will follow the story on paintballaccess.com. And now here we go. DC Devastation heads up to that center again. Good field position for DC Devastation. I like the game plan that they came with, and now they're making their moves here towards the Snake side of the field. Hustle on the flip side.
Man, Brandon Rabikoff, look at number 29 right there. Jerry Williams locking down the Snake side, but Brandon Rabikoff for DC's Devastation is actually in the Snake right now. And number 22 up the middle, going to work for DC's Devastation, locking down the Snake side of the field. As you know, Tony, you're at that A and you lock down that side of the field, there's no going anywhere.
Yeah, but you gotta, I mean, I'm looking on the right side here. If you think about it, you gotta load with your gun up. You cannot let that marker come down for 2 seconds. You have to keep on that lane for no reason. You sneeze, and he's 2 bunkers up on you.
Yeah, that's very true. So,
You know, I only see 4 people on the field right now.
yeah,
From
you know what I think it would
Hustle.
I think
it
what it
carried
was.
over.
Well, it's not that it did carry over, but in the sense that there was no one to pull. That's the problem. There was no one to pull at the end. So
And that's why I carried over.
Yeah.
I see. So number 88 taking the walk. That's Walker for DC Devastation, and Tim Jenkins also taking the walk for Hustle, leaving 3 players alive: Arnold, Williams, and Yarko for Hustle. Do or die point right now for Hustle. Swanson, Rabikoff, Gino Benedicto, and Haynes. And we'll see right there. Getting in, that's Arnold getting in the snake, and Jerry Williams. It's just Arnold and Jerry Williams trying to hold it together. Brandon Rabikoff's going to go get him, I guarantee it. He's a real aggressive player, just like his brother, not so much like his father, because he's a little smart, and he has hair. So Brandon Rabikoff looking for the inside move, doing something. Arnold and Williams, Tony. I think I saw something come off his barrel. But those don't count.
Yeah.
I mean, not for me, but anyway.
Or how close the ref is.
Yeah, exactly.
You look at it, you got 30 seconds on the clock right now.
That's Gino Benedicto right there. He's been around for a long time. He's played on a lot of professional teams.
Yeah.
He's a seasoned player, knows what he's talking about, played on Vicious, played in Infamous. I played with him a couple times.
He's a Latin American, isn't he?
I think he's Filipino.
Filipino, okay.
Yeah, Arnold, look at right there. That's a shot, you're out. There's a penalty,
he's looking.
and that's going to do it. Thank you, Arnold, for getting a major. That's going to pull Williams out and going to give DC Devastation the win.
Whew, close game, though.
Yeah, you know what? Hustle and they're very evenly matched. Gave him a good game, and I mean, you know, you can't take anything away from either of these teams because the level of play that
Yeah, you're right.
I look at their bracket, man. They had to come through so much just to get here.
Well, I remember before the World Cup started, and I was looking at how many teams were signing up in each division, and I was like, oh my God, man, these guys are gonna have to play perfect paintball just to make it out of those divisions to get to the webcast field. But you know, DC Devastation, they're ready to bump up. DC Devastation is going to be, they've got to be a D1 team. If they don't, well, they're gonna hear it from me because I'm sorry, you can't win the series, win the World Cup, just dominate everybody. They won that tournament in Chicago against Hustle last time. So, man, it's incredible performance by DC Devastation. Great program they put together. Hats off to Luigi, the Rabikoffs, and everyone that's been a big part of the success over there.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Wow. So
Yes.
anyway,
Yes.
so, you know, Tony Perez, thank you very much for coming out, man. I love seeing you, bro.
Guys,
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Please keep an eye on us on the web, on the Facebook.
We're not saying goodbye yet. I'm still going to pick your brain for a couple minutes still.
Good deal.
But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Rock and roll.
Hey guys, I am down here with Sam Haynes and Brandon Rabikoff. You guys just won not only the whole series, but you are the first place winners at World Cup. How does it feel?
It's amazing. I've been waiting for this all my life, and to get both of them in one, it's unbelievable. I cannot believe it. It's amazing.
Were you guys getting nervous there when they tied it up and you guys got the lead, but they could have tied it up again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always nervous against the team in the finals. They always are willing to fight just like we are. We just fought a little bit harder this time, and it was good to see them here in the finals again.
You guys went undefeated this entire weekend. What kind of practice and work went into that?
A lot. Gino yelling at us all the time, our coach. You know, all the grinds, the whole weekend doubles, even during the week. Just everything kind of leads to this moment, and if you're not out there practicing, you won't get here. So it's a big part of it.
All right, can we expect to see you in the 2014 doing this again?
Yes, ma'am, I think you can.
All right, congratulations, guys. There you have it. DC Dev are your World Cup winners against Hustle in D2.
Woo!